Hello, learners. I am New Monica. Recently, CD Projekt Red has accidentally caused a bit of a kerfluffle by trademarking the term cyberpunk. Some people have gone so far as to state that it would become impossible to produce a cyberpunk work because they have cyberpunk trademark. This video is a brief explanative of exactly what trademark does and how it works, and exactly what CD Projekt Red can do with the cyberpunk trademark. This isn't specifically a defense or an assault on CD Projekt Red, merely an explanation. Also, this isn't going to go anywhere near into depth on IP law because that is a whole area of law and we don't have the time for that, and it gets kind of boring. Principally, there are three methods of protecting your intellectual property. There is technically a fourth, but the fourth does not involve dealing with the government and is really its own beast. The other three are copyright, patent, and trademark. Copyright protects artistic expressions, such as novels and TV shows, and to some extent games, but only protects the content of them. If you create a product called Workin' Slasher, and somebody else creates a product called Workin' Slasher, and they have completely different content, but the names are confusing and people will get one intending the other, copyright will not protect you. Patent is protection on a process or technical device. So if you create a board game called Workin' Slasher and somebody else creates a board game called Velociraptor that has essentially the same rules, but they haven't literally reprinted the wording of your rules, copyright won't protect you, patent will. Trademark, on the other hand, is there to protect your trade dress. It is intended to keep products from being confused with each other, so that if you market a product, you don't have to worry about other people naming it very similar things in order to steal business from you. This requires filing with the government, and you can search for trademarks as they presently exist in the United States on a system called TESS. Trademarks, however, protect products specifically, and they are for specific categories of products. Marvel and DC share a trademark on the term superhero. However, that applies only to their category of products. If I create a antiquities dealer and call it Superhero Antiquities, they actually cannot step in on me, and I could actually trademark superhero for Superhero Antiquities. And if I specify that this is for antiquities dealing, they can't argue with me, I can't argue with them, and our trademarks don't interfere because we are in completely different industries. Now, CD Projekt Red and our Talsorian Games both have trademarks on the term cyberpunk. Our Talsorian Games has had the trademark for quite a while, although apparently for a little while they abandoned it. Our Talsorian Games trademark is specifically for role-playing games. CD Projekt Red's is a bit more expansive, including computer games, mobile games, music, novels, role-playing game books, speculative fiction magazines, t-shirts, CCGs, miniatures, and paper party hats. These will protect them from other people labeling their product cyberpunk if they are in those industries. If it is possible for somebody else to confuse your product or their product with somebody else's, then it will protect them. However, William Gibson has very little to fear. His cyberpunk novels aren't going to be a problem because, for starters, they're not named cyberpunk. Essentially, what this will prevent other people from doing is creating a computer game named Cyberpunk, or Cyberpunks, or any easily confused variation thereof. Incidentally, CD Projekt Red does actually have a separate trademark on Cyberpunk 2077. Now, to be clear, as others have also said, it is not possible to trademark a genre. Indeed, one cannot even patent a genre. It is not possible to get control over an entire genre. Indeed, Marvel and DC tried to do this with the superhero trademark, but it really only prevented people from using that word in particular. This is simply a method of product protection. It gives them the ability to produce sequels because nobody else will step in with Cyberpunk 2078 or Cyberpunk V2 or any other similar variation, and it will give them some space to continue their product after they are finished. They did very similar things with The Witcher, and the results are pretty much the same. Now, some people might complain that cyberpunk is a very common term, and it's essentially a generic term. That could be the case, and this might be an instance in which the trademark is incorrect. CD Projekt Red's separate trademark of Cyberpunk 2077 seems much more valid and much more definite. As to whether or not CD Projekt Red or our Talsorian should be able to bear the term cyberpunk as a trademark is probably a matter for better minds than mine. This is simply a discussion of the exact implications of them having this trademark. And that's it for this overview of CD Projekt Red's trademark and trademark law generally. There is a great deal more to trademark law and IP law generally, but this should give you a better idea of exactly what CD Projekt Red has done and can potentially do with it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, or at least were educated by it.